Topic: regulation of kidney function. Now, the functioning of kidney is regulated by hormonal feedback. It means hormones have a major role to control the regulation in our kidneys. That involves hypothalamus control, then JG apparatus, which is known as juxta, glomerular apparatus. Okay, and to a certain extent, the walls of atria of our heart. Okay, these three will help in the regulation. First of all, hypothalamus. By hypothalamus, see, when there is a change in osmolarity याद है, the ionic as well as the water balance. So when there is a change in osmolarity and volume of blood along with the body fluid, these will bring a little change in osmoreceptors. Now what will happen? Change in osmolarity will be detected by the osmoreceptor, the cells responsible for it, and these are stimulated. These stimulated cells will stimulate hypothalamus, to release ADH hormone. So ADH hormone is released. What is the other name of ADH? Vasopressin. You should know that also. Vasopressin is the other name of ADH hormone. From where is it released? From the posterior pituitary. What the ADH does now? ADH has come, it is released. This ADH, it sends the signal. Where? Signal to DCT, distal convoluted tubule, then collecting tubule and collecting duct. What for? When the signal is received by these three, these will reabsorb water. So the signal is sent to reabsorb water, maximum water. From where? From filtrate. Okay, to reabsorb water from the filtrate. What will happen? If these will reabsorb water from the filtrate, what will happen? The permeability of the walls increases. Permeability of the walls increase, and ultimately it will prevent diuresis. Okay, and this will also result in increase in blood volume. That means the blood volume can automatically increase, and this will be detected by the osmoreceptors, which will automatically suppress the release of ADH. Okay, once it is in excess, इसको हम बोल रहे हैं feedback. Means when excess of blood volume is detected by the osmoreceptors, this will automatically stop the release of ADH from the hypothalamus, और इसको हम बोलते हैं the feedback mechanism. Clear? Along with the regulation of kidney function. Once again, change in osmolarity, right, and the volume of blood. The change in osmolarity and volume of blood is detected in the body fluid. Osmoreceptors are stimulated, and these are releasing ADH and vasopressin. So ADH signals the DCT collecting tubule as well as collecting duct to do what? To reabsorb water. And from where? From the filtrate. It will also lead to the increase in permeability of the walls. Automatically the process of this filtrate reabsorption, this water reabsorption increases and the problem of diuresis is prevented. But there is an increase in blood volume that is detected again by the osmoreceptors. So it will now, excessive amount of increase in blood volume is detected by osmoreceptors, and they will start for their feedback mechanism by stopping or by suppressing the release of ADH from the hypothalamus. Clear? This is hypothalamus. Then by JGA cells. How the JGA cells will work for it. By JGA mechanism. In this, we say it operates through multi-hormonal system. Multi-hormonal system, which is known as RAAS mechanism, that is renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. कोई बात नहीं, नाम ही डिफ़िकल्ट है, काम इसका ठीक ठाक ही है, इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. ओके, रास, दैट इज रेनिन एंजियोटेंसिन एल्डोस्टेरोन सिस्टम. अब क्या होता है? फर्स्ट स्टेप इज व्हेनेवर द glomerular blood flow, that means the blood, filtered blood which is coming from the glomerulus after ultrafiltration, उसको हम glomerular flow बोल देते हैं. That means volume or pressure. This blood flow or this blood volume, it decreases. पहले क्या होता है? ये decrease हो जाता है. And in relation to that, JGA release renin. हम RENNIN नहीं लिखेंगे. Why? If you could recollect this one, RENNIN is an enzyme to digest milk proteins. Remember, in babies and in calves, ये वो होता है. तो this is RENIN, which converts, this release of renin converts angiotensinogen into blood to angiotensin 1. Okay, and angiotensin 2. ठीक है, जब ये हो जाता है तो ये वाला एक बहुत पावरफुल वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्टर होता है, वेरी पावरफुल वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्टर. मतलब which will act as to narrow down the tubules. So अगर आपके इस होस पाइप का ये माउथ नैरो कर दिया जाए तो प्रेशर विल कम आउट विद द लार्ज फोर्स. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू हियर. दिस वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्टर will automatically increase the glomerular blood flow or blood pressure and maintains glomerular filtrate rate. Okay, this being a powerful vasoconstrictor does the work. What else it does? एक तो इसका powerful vasoconstrictor वाला रोल है. Second, it activates adrenal cortex, cortical region. ठीक है, adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. This aldosterone will stimulate reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal tubules. Okay, from the distal parts of the renal tubule or distal tubule. What will it leads to? It leads to increase in blood volume and pressure. तो क्या हो जाएगा? GFR फिर से नॉर्मल हो जाएगा. Clear? So what happened here is in JGA mechanism, it's a multi-hormonal system called RAS, where first of all the glomerular blood flow or the GFR rate, इसको glomerular blood flow और GFR rate भी बोलते हैं, it decreases. जब ये decrease हो गया, ultimately JGA will release renin, which converts angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1 and angiotensin 2. 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor which automatically increases the glomerular blood pressure by constricting the or narrowing down the blood vessels. Automatically there is an increase in the flow of GFR and GFR rate is maintained. Along with that, it also activates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone, which stimulate the reabsorption of sodium and water. Because it is not that GFR rate is to be only maintained. इसको normal भी करना होता है. And that normal can be done whenever we find that there is excessive flow of blood. There is excessive increase in the blood volume. Then automatically reabsorption rate becomes high. When the reabsorption is high, then there is increase in blood volume and GFR becomes normal. Clear? Third is by the atrial wall of the heart. See, अब इसमें क्या होता है? An increase in blood flow or volume and pressure. Blood flow, blood pressure, blood volume. It is detected by the atrial heart muscles. Okay? And since it is detected by the atrial wall of the heart, when it detects, it releases ANF. ANF is released. ANF is atrial natriuretic factor. ANF does the reverse of what the vasoconstrictor does. That is what angiotensin 2 does. It is a vasodilator. Causes vasodilation. And what do it bring in? Decrease in blood pressure or blood flow. So what do we say? This ANF, it works antagonistically, means as a check to RAS by inhibiting release of renin. Clear? Increase in blood flow and pressure is detected by the atrial walls and releases ANF, atrial natriuretic factor. This factor causes vasodilation and brings a decrease in blood pressure. This works antagonistically, that is a check mechanism for RAS by inhibiting release of renin. This is regulation. After regulation, we need to know what is micturition. Micturition is the act of voiding or releasing urine from the urinary bladder. Clear? It is basically accomplished by simultaneously contraction of smooth muscles. Right? Where? Smooth muscles of urinary bladder. and relaxation of skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles as well as the sphincter muscles, उन्हीं को ही बोलते हैं skeletal muscles of sphincter around the opening of the that bladder into the urethra. Okay, so this is a dual process where we say contraction and relaxation takes place when there is an urge to release the urine from the body. What is urine actually? We humans release 1.5 to 1.8 liters of urine every day. Okay, it's straw colored, slightly acidic, pH is around 6, with the characteristic odor, and contains urea, creatine, and very little amount of ammonia along with uric acid. Okay, about 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted. 25 to 30 gram of urea is excreted in a day by a normal human being. Fine. Glucose, ketone bodies, ketonuria, these are found in the urine of a diabetic patient. Fine. Now, after this regulation, what are the other organs of excretion? Which other organs are mainly responsible for excretion except the kidneys? Then we say in that the first one are lungs. What do lungs excrete? CO2 and significant amount of water vapors also. Then liver. What liver releases? It contains bile, all the more bile, so it releases bilirubin pigment, then biliverdin, then cholesterol, then steroidal hormones which are degraded, then certain drugs, then vitamins also. Okay, and all these where do they go? They go to the alimentary canal. ये सारा कुछ alimentary canal release करती है. Alimentary canal, where? Through fecal matter. Then moving to skin. Yes, it has two types of glands. We are quite clear. One are the sweat glands and the another one are sebaceous glands. Sweat glands, they are mainly responsible for the release of NaCl, urea and lactic acid. To your surprise, lactic acid. Okay, and sebaceous one, see, apart from this, it also believes in giving a cooling effect to the body as well, because it brings the process of evaporation, and evaporation causes cooling. Then are the sebaceous glands. These eliminate sterols, hydrocarbons and waxes through sebum. And what is sebum? We are talking about sebaceous gland, sebum. What is sebum? It's a waxy or an oily covering on the body. Is it helpful? Yes, it protects the skin. इसका काम protection होता है, so that no more pathogens can gain access into your body. Alright, then moving to the disorders. When we have done the organs of excretion, now the last part, that is the last content or the last topic of this chapter, is that what are the basic disorders of this excretory system. In these disorders, the first is uremia. We have just discussed कि it prevents uremia. एक जगह पे हमने बोला है ना, in regulation. What is uremia? It is a condition when there is high concentration of non-protein nitrogen. That means urea, uric acid, and little amount of creatinine. Few or more less compounds which are very less important actually. These accumulate in blood and comparatively these are high in uremia. This is a process where accumulation of all these products take place. ठीक है, accumulation हो जाती है. Then how this accumulation is removed? This is only by the process of hemodialysis. Hemodialysis is the process which releases all such compounds of urea, uric acid and creatinine, more or less important compounds from the body. Then is kidney failure. किडनी फेलियर को हम रीनल फेलियर भी बोलते हैं. What does it mean? It means a decrease or cessation of glomerular filtration. What is the role of kidney? That is to maintain the glomerular filtrate rate. Alright, when this rate is decreased or it is completely stopped, we say there is a problem in the kidney. Both the kidneys can also stop working. One of them can stop working. What are the causes for that? When there is low blood volume, when there is decreased cardiac output, when there are renal damage tubules, anything can be a cause. Alright, can be low blood volume, can be decreased cardiac output, then third one, it could be the kidney stone or the damaged kidney tubules. These are all the causes. Then what are the effects? What will happen to a person? Effects include that person can show edema, swelling of the body. Then can be the potassium level rises. Potassium level rise in the body. Clear? Then there can be a cardiac arrest which may occur due to the accumulation of all these potassiums in the body itself. What is the treatment? Again, hemodialysis is the treatment. Okay. Then are kidney stones. We have just named. What are kidney stones? इनको बोलते हैं renal calculi or kidney stone. We have heard so many people talking about it. Right. This stone basically give rise to so much of severe colic pain starting in the back and radiating down in front of the thighs or in the testicular region or in the vulvar region. That is basically the stone is insoluble and it get crystallized anywhere, and that mass of crystallized salt is formed within the kidney. This is basically the renal calculi. Okay, meaning it is a stone or a mass of crystallized, crystal formation हो जाती है, salts. These salts are oxalates, okay, which are formed within the kidney. And this pain moves, it rotates, as I told you. It's a severe pain and it keeps on radiating downward in front or in thigh area or in the female urinary system or in the male testicular region. It can move anywhere. Clear? Then is glomerulonephritis. Glomerulonephritis, as the name suggests, inflammation of glomeruli of kidney, and glomeruli, they become engrossed with the blood. Basically क्या होता है, they become non-functional and individual has to go for an artificial kidney. Inflammation होती है ये, inflammation of glomerulus, okay, where these become non-functional, and ultimately the sources that they have to go for artificial kidney, that is hemodialysis is the solution. Clear? Then another problem that we can basically see is that kidney transplantation or hemodialysis are the only options that are left with people. Those who are trying to treat all this uremia, kidney failures and effects which are in the severe range. It's not that these cannot be corrected easily. These can be corrected easily, but when these are severe, these need to be generally worked out by artificial kidney or hemodialysis, right?